it is North here, and today is a tutorial video, oddly enough. Today I'm showing you how to make an AJHQ version of your animal, like AJHQ art of your animal, even if you have no artistic abilities like me. Now just to say, this does not include the clothing items because I have no experience with that whatsoever, sorry. But surprisingly enough, the clothing actually doesn't make a difference. Take a look at these snow leopards in my outro. You never even notice that their items are missing until someone actually points it out to you, even though there's a picture of my animal right there with all her items on. So first of all, you need AJHQ's art of an animal that you want to recolor. So go to the Animal Jam archives and go to Assets, then go to Animals. As you can see, there's a section for every different animal. Pick the animal that's the same animal as the avatar you want to recolor. Then just pick one of the animals from the list of pictures provided. Try to make it look as much as possible like your animal, with the exception of colors, of course. The entire point of this is to recolor it to make it look like it's from the archives, so just don't consider colors at all. However, do consider the items that they're wearing. Unless all the items they're wearing are the same as the items that you have on your avatar, which is very, very rare, just pick an animal that does not have any items on it. Also, try to pick an animal with the same pattern as your animal. However, there may not be an animal with the exact same pattern. If not, just pick an animal with the closest pattern. Trust me, it's pretty hard to notice the differences between patterns, so just try to pick one that's similar. Once you've found the animal you like, just save it onto your computer. Then you're going to need to use a painting program. I use Paint 3D, but you can use almost any painting program as long as it has certain tools. Number one, you need to be able to import images into the painting program and edit those images that you've imported. Number two, I'm pretty sure all painting programs have this, but you need a color wheel. Number three, a paint bucket. Again, all painting programs have this. Number four is something that I don't know what it's called, but basically it helps you to look at a drawing and find an exact color. And basically if you run it over a specific part of the drawing, then it can show you that exact color and you can click on it and then you can use that exact color. I know that's confusing, but right now there should be something on the screen sort of showing you what exactly it is. And I'm sorry that I can only show you with screenshots and not an actual video clip, but Paint 3D doesn't let me do that because it hates me, so yeah. Sorry. Next part is picking out the color scheme. Now feel free to test out with as many colors as you want using the color wheel to decide which colors you think would be best fitting with your avatar. It's always good to have a picture of your avatar with you while you're doing this so you know exactly what you're aiming for. And remember to only put one layer of paint. If you test out a color and you don't like it, use the undo button to remove that color and then test out another color. Because when you put on layers of paint, it actually blurs out the borderlines, which is not good because you're gonna have to recolor those borderlines later on and you have to be able to see them as much as possible. So only one layer of paint at all costs. Also, this is not mandatory, but it's super helpful if you have custom colors. Custom colors basically allow you to save your colors on a color palette so you can access them anytime you want. Luckily, Paint 3D offers exactly 6 custom colors, which is the exact number you want. Why? Well, because for this first step, you're going to need 6 different colors. You're going to need the primary color, or the main color of the fur or skin, then you're going to need the secondary color, and the color of the animal's pattern. You're also going to need a slightly shaded version of each one. As you can see, there is shade on parts of this avatar, so we're going to need to pick out our 3 colors, and then have a slightly shaded version of each one. This adds a lot of realism and just awesomeness to the avatar. Anyway, that's it for picking out the colors, but now what about coloring them? Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. You just use the paint bucket tool to color things in, etc. But wait, on Paint 3D, it's a little bit different. As you can see, there's a percentage of tolerance, aka how much this paint will fill up your entire screen. I've found that 5% works best. Anyway, just color in all the main areas, not including like the border lines or whatever. Just do all the main colors of the pattern, primary and secondary colors, and the shaded versions of each one. And this is where the tool that I still forget the name of will come in handy. You should zoom in to see the little nooks and crannies that may need to be colored in. Then you use this tool to find the color. Instead of having to zoom out and check what color it is on the color palette, you can just zoom in and use this tool, which is called the eyedropper. Ha, I remembered it. Use the eyedropper to just find the color and recolor it, instead of consistently zooming out to find out which color it is. Is it the primary color, the secondary color, the pattern, the primary shaded, secondary shaded, you know what I'm saying. And remember to consistently zoom out to make sure you like it and that you're doing it right and just that it looks good. Next up is a very tedious long and boring step, but that's very important. It's borderline coloring. Borderlines can be found as the lines between the toes on the paws, or on the back, or on the little tufts of hair on the head, but it is very important to recolor them properly. It really just makes the avatar look good, and it's actually very easy to notice if someone hasn't recolored the borderlines and it doesn't really look realistic. It looks very edited and cheap. It's really just better if you can recolor the borderlines. For this, you need a dark color. Just take the color that's being used on the area that has the borderlines, but make it so dark, like almost black dark. That's how dark you want the borderlines to be. Trust me. With a thickness of about 3. Anyway, after that it's pretty simple. Just draw the curved lines where they need to be drawn. And you might be saying, well, I can't do that. I'm not good at drawing these lines. Keep in mind, you're hearing this from someone who is literally the worst digital artist you will ever meet. You can do it, trust me. It might take a little time to get it right, but hey, you'll get it done eventually. Remember to always zoom in all over the drawings to make sure you're getting all the border lines. And make sure that you're zooming out consistently to make sure that you like the work that you're doing on these borderlines. Borderlines are very visible, and you're gonna have to make them look really good to look professional. If you're done drawing all the lines and they still look a little thick, make sure to use the eyedropper to sort of erase around and sort of recolor the fur to its original color. It really looks better if the borders are done right. Don't forget to recolor the eyes. As you can see, I didn't recolor them properly on this drawing because my snow leopard's eyes are completely white. If I did it the way I was supposed to, it would look really creepy. As you can see, the eyes are sort of a darker color and then they turn to a lighter color. You could be an artist and try to sort of, adjust and do it that way, but I have no experience with that. It really looks good if you just color it one solid color. If you want to make it more complicated, use on your own, because I have no tips for that and I've never done that. Anyway, that's all the tips I have for you today. Editing avatars is pretty tedious, but it's really enjoyable if you're someone who likes to edit. And once you've done it, it's super helpful. You can use them in thumbnails or in your outro like I do, even in your intro if you can find a way to use them well. Whenever you use them, make sure to credit the Animal Jam archives. Just include in the description that the original art for that avatar before you recolored it came from the Animal Jam archives. Here's the final result. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and of course, stay clawsome, possum, and fantastic. See you all next time.